Welcome to another episode of Mr. Therapist and the Counselor Podcast. We are your guide towards personal recovery, whether you're dealing with an addiction, a mental health issue, or you're just trying to figure life out. We empower your growth through candid conversations and demystifying the process of therapy. I'm Manny Romero. Jesse O.
This week, time sessions, we process. Here we go.
Make sure that you subscribe to the channel and share this if you find some value. Let's go.
Episode starts right now. Before we hit the clock, because do you ever do small talk?
We always do small talk.
No, I mean like before an actual individual session.
Absolutely.
So when a client comes in, do you ever just go, okay, we can? I guess you kind of BS a little bit, and then you start the session.
Yeah, I mean it depends. There's some clients that like to get into it. So.
Yeah, and some clients you just like.
Some
to,
clients
like to
they
take
need to
their
warm
money.
up. They need to warm up. Yeah.
Say
No, they just need to warm up,
I
bro.
know. Kind of like us, then, right?
Yeah.
We are human beings that need to warm up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I was driving here. I saw the full moon was out. Did you see the full moon?
No.
You didn't.
But I heard it. Was it going to be like?
There's like a blue. Wait.
Yeah, blue moon.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. I don't know if that's already passed or not. But the moon is out. It reminded me of this time that I had this client at a treatment center.
Okay.
And she thought I looked like a werewolf.
Oh.
At the time, I
can kind of see it.
I had the long hair, so I was a combination between like a prospect on Sons of Anarchy,
Yeah.
Dave Grohl, and maybe like Danny Trejo as Machete, So, but she thought I was. She gave like another therapist there like a letter to read to me. It was very awkward and inappropriate, but she wanted to get this letter to me, and the letter had like stickers of wolves all over it.
Oh, dang.
So I had a werewolf type of vibe.
Very cool. I can totally see it. Yeah.
I don't know if that's very cool. But thank you for.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you could be compared to other things that aren't
Different.
as cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
Werewolves are cool.
Werewolves are cool.
Yeah.
So I was driving here and I was thinking about. I saw the full moon and I thought about seasons, and seasons change. I know that you're a big summer guy. Fun, buns out, funds out. Is it guns out? I don't know what I'm talking
Actually, the funny thing about I am a big summer guy.
Yeah,
Justin
you
Timberlake.
love the summer, man.
Justin Timberlake, Summer Love. It was me and my wife's song early on. Don't give me that
Wait,
disgusted face.
No, wait, JT did Summer Love?
JT did Summer Love.
No,
yeah.
that's a Grease song.
No.
I got chills. No?
They're multiplying.
That's Summer Love
No.
and Had Me Some.
Oh, that is? Oh,
Yeah.
well, JT does a different version.
Okay.
It's
JT, for our viewers that don't know, that's Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
This just ain't just puppy love, baby. Do you remember that song?
So back to what I was talking about on the seasons.
I don't
right?
have the best singing voice.
So you're a big summer guy,
Yeah.
and I like the fall's coming up, and I'm a big fall, winter. I like the Halloween time of year.
Yeah.
I get really excited about pumpkin spice. I'm so
Ooh,
white. I
dang.
love pumpkin spice. PSL.
Yeah.
Do Mexicans like pumpkin spice?
I think so. I don't
Do
know.
therapists? I know therapists like pumpkin spice.
I'm sure a lot of them go to Starbucks and get some pumpkin spice. I'm more of a venti iced chai latte myself.
I love pumpkin everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do. So, but I was thinking about the seasons as well. But we went to see Metallica recently. Went to SoFi Stadium.
Yeah.
You had a good time, right?
I had a great time, bro. I can't believe you took me. Like, that's amazing.
You never really been to like a rock or
No.
like heavy metal show, right? Like
I was really
big
like,
stadium show. So
I was really like worried. I was like, I can't make this boring. Like, because Jesse's a big rocker guy, and like I feel like the expectations are low. Because you were like, because we were kind of like making fun a little bit that like I didn't know a lot of Metallica songs,
Yeah.
but like I was like, okay. But it was fun, dude. I freaking loved it. I actually really liked it.
That's great. I do this thing, unfortunately, with people. Like, if I bring them to like maybe like a concert or like if I'm watching a movie with somebody, I tend to look at people sometimes just to see what the reaction is because
Yeah.
my
I
hope
do the
is
same.
that Huh?
I do this.
I was just hoping they enjoy it. Like I
Yeah.
looked at you a few times. I was like, man, I hope he's into it. I was like, he's not gonna know these like deep cuts of Metallica
Or
from, like, Kill 'Em All, the album.
yeah.
So
Or the other band that was playing
Pantera.
Pantera. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I didn't, but it was awesome.
It was fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
had a good time. So I remember there was a moment I was just sharing with you off camera. Is that like there was a moment? I don't know if SoFi's got like 70,000, 80,000, 90,000. I don't know how many people, but
It's like 70,000 and 100,000 without seats to people that are down there.
Yeah. So all of a sudden there was this moment on one of the songs, like it felt like everybody, probably not everybody, but it felt like everybody had yelled, and the pitch was so loud. Like I felt like my ear kind of like almost like make a noise, like a tingle, because it was so loud and intense. But it was a really
Yeah,
it was a really fun show. So, I guess we are on the clock, aren't we?
We are, and I'm like, yeah, like you're wasting my money here, therapist.
No, but I was really like, I told you the new Metallica album was called 72 Seasons. And I even during the concert I was like 72 seasons, and I wasn't exactly sure what that represented. I was like, I think 72 seasons is like how many years Metallica's been banned. And you like did the math super quick, and you're like it's like 18 years, and I was like, no, Metallica's been around longer than that. So I did like a little research.
That's crazy though.
What?
They've been longer than 18 years.
Oh
so.
yeah, it's been like probably since.
They're
screw this up
old.
like. Hopefully they're not listening. We just did a whole like podcast on ageism, right? You're like ripping on like how old they are.
Yeah, he reminded me of Clay from Sons of Anarchy. You know, like,
he did have a Clay look, yeah. So we had 2 Sons of Anarchy references on this podcast right now.
Yeah.
But I looked up 72 Seasons, and I wanted to just read it what it was. 72 Seasons that references the first 18 years of life, which is, I guess, was a rough patch for the singer James Hetfield, who was abandoned by his father at age 13 and lost his mother to cancer at 16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so after that, he despised like the family's Christian Science faith and his discouragement of like medical care and traditional funerals.
Dang.
And then,
Who was he raised by?
I don't know. I mean, I would like to do a little more research on it, but
Werewolves?
Huh?
Werewolves?
Possibly. That ties into the beginning of this whole podcast. No, but then I read some more research, and there's an interview where James Hetfield was on in the interview, and he commented on the whole 72 seasons, and he said, like, as we said, the first 18 years of our lives that form our true and false selves. I'll read the quote. He said this, the concept that we're told who we are by our parents, a possible pigeonholing around what kind of personality we are. I think the most interesting part of this is continued study of those core beliefs and how it affects our perception of the world today. Much of our adult experience is reenactment or reactions to these childhood experiences, prisoners of childhood, or breaking free of those bondages we carry. I sent that to you. If you want to like comment on that, you can. I have like more to say to it, but is there anything that you want to say about that idea of like the 72 seasons and how impactful the 18 years?
I'm more of a I need to read words to understand them. So I think what I think you're saying though is like he's saying that like our parents put an impression on us based on what they believe, how they want to shape us as people, and in a way we got to work through that in our entire lives, right? Like to fix some of the shit that caused for us internally. That's what he's saying, right?
You're a therapist. You did such a good job of like summarizing that. That was really good.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, they pay me the big bucks. So, yeah. Oh, totally. Dude, I do have comment on that. I think like it's true. I think, gosh, this is so interesting because I feel like I have an unpopular opinion around this. So I feel like I see a lot of like content about like parenting, how to be a parent, and like there's a lot of information about like being careful to like, you know, how you meet your kids where they're at, you know what I mean? Like, and I totally dig it and I love it and I agree with it. I think that like as I'm a parent myself, raising 2 girls, I also find a lot of value in like shaping my kids too though. Like I feel like a part of me like really likes the idea of like teaching my kids what I want to teach them and like shaping them in the way that I want to mold them. So I feel like with this quote that you're talking about, I feel like it's like fucking parenting is an art of like doing that in a way that you're still shaping them in some way, but also like accepting that you're going to fuck them up a little bit and understanding that like you're trying not to screw them up so much, right? Like, and I don't know. It's kind of a weird way of thinking about it.
I don't want to
like,
put the weird. No, I don't think it's weird. I don't want to like. I feel like you're putting weird on it because it's different and
it's just
like,
different. And I don't hear.
know.
It's not an opinion I hear out there a lot. But I feel.
Where you
that
listening
way.
then? I feel like there probably is some of that. There's probably a lot.
I
of
hope
that out
so.
there.
Yeah,
I think so.
You're right. My algorithm isn't feeding it to me.
We don't need to talk about this, but that jujitsu story you told me with about your daughter was like, kind of like. It made an impression on me of like how we're supposed to teach our kids, and like, yeah, we are going to screw up. And you could read book after book after book. It's kind of like, I tell clients this often, like the reality, I don't want to say their reality, but often what I see is that unexpected things are going to happen in people's lives, and we can go to therapy, we can attend groups, but when reality hits, like we could read every like self-help book, but like the emotions and the feelings, if we're not like prepared, or I don't say prepared for the worst thing to happen, but like if we haven't like done some emotional regulation, I think that we're not going to be handled like situations.
Yeah,
and
and you can really only like you can read all the self-help books you want, but until you experience shit, like that's really how you move through it or learn or grow from things, right? Yeah. What do you think? So you had thoughts, but I was going to ask, like, what do you think? His name is, sorry, this is
James Hetfield. I got
James.
you.
I was going to call him Brett. So what do you think James is like? What do you think his take is on like parenting and upbringing? Like,
I know just from what I've followed Metallica for a very long time. Obviously, I grew up on them. They actually did a movie years back. It's a documentary. It's called Some Kind of Monster. And they had one of the guys in the band had just left the band. The bass player Jason Newsted had left the band, and they actually like on this documentary. I'm reading the caption on here because I don't want to mess it up, but like they realized they needed intervention as a band. And they brought in actually like a group therapist. In this documentary, and I reflected on this because at the time, I feel like I think it was 2000 or 1999, 2004 it came out. At the time, I was not interested in like doing anything that we're doing right now, therapy, counseling, nothing like that. But like, that's another introduction to like therapist and seeing it. But like, I remember him sitting in there. And they had like the drummer Lars Ulrich and James Hetfield. They grew up together, but they had all this like repressed anger and aggression towards each other. So they had this group therapist in there.
That's
like
cool.
It was a very interesting concept. But back to like what for regarding James Hetfield, like I know that he's battled alcoholism. I don't know regarding like upbringing and parenting, but it's interesting to see somebody. We were at the concert, and I think some of the things he said, like on the microphone, just like he really was trying to talk about how important life is. There was a thing he had said, I don't remember exactly, but he was just kind of like, live for today, like appreciate today. And it's just like, it's interesting to see that right there to me represents somebody who's been through the fire and is still standing and is trying to find a positive light on things. Because, the Metallica, I remember initially, like, the things that he was saying, the positive statements, like you wouldn't have got that like from the 20-year-old James Hetfield, but
he was very positive. He was like preaching love. We love you. I think he even said like don't give up at some point. I think he said
there
that,
was like these really like self-affirming like positive statements, and I was just like, it was just cool because I was like, wow. I was like, I remember that documentary or just all, and I remember, like I said, old Metallica. It's growth.
Yeah.
And I think the idea of like, we've talked about on the podcast how much for me, my first 18 years of life with my mother, with my father, how much that still impacts me, present day.
Yeah.
I think a lot of my distorted beliefs are developed, from that time in my life, and I related with the abandonment issues with like James Hetfield of having that, not having that male role model figure in my life, and we've talked about that before in podcasts. So so I just it really it stuck with me because recently in my life too, I'd like to share is that I've been going through, as I will continue to, I go through different things in my life, and there's a certain struggle right now in my life right now. And somebody who I love and admire, I won't say this person's name, you'll already know who it is, but she had told me that, Jesse, we go through seasons, and right now the season's it's rough for you, it's rocky, but the season, this will pass too. And sometimes I feel like things are forever and they're never gonna end. I don't know if you feel that way.
Sure.
But like sometimes you can't see the light really, and it's you can get stuck in those dark times. So like it is a reminder of like letting this season pass, and I can get through it just like anybody that's going through a difficult time.
You lose perspective in your pain, right? Yeah. Like you can get really sucked into, not you, but like when I say you, I mean you and me. Like we lose perspective in our pain. We can get stuck in the darkness and forget that like there is light coming, right? Like this isn't going to be here forever. I love that analogy in this context of this album with Metallica. Yeah.
Since I didn't even think about this, but I referenced the moon to start this podcast, and this is like the fluidity of us, you and I. It made me think of a show I talked to you about recently called True Detective.
Yes.
And you watched all 10 episodes, right? So you know what happens at the end. But there's the last scene at the very
season
end.
One.
Season one. That's the only season you should watch, really. No, actually, I watched season. Anyways, but True Detective, McConaughey, Woody Harrelson. But at the end of the episode, the very last scene, he's something's happened, and Woody and Matthew McConaughey, they're talking, their characters, and he looks up in the sky, and he's like, what do you see? I think, and he talks about, he's like, it's all dark up there. But he mentions like how the stars though, they shine so much brighter in the dark. So, and I remember that like in the sense of life, like it is those stars that shine so bright that really stand out, and because it's really easy to see like the darkness around us. Yeah. I mean, driving down to Los Angeles, I don't know if I mentioned this, but like just seeing more homelessness, and just the way LA has it looks, and there's still a lot of beautiful things in Los Angeles. I'm not saying that, but like that was a city I growing up, like being a musician, I wanted to be out there. That was the scene. Like as an artist, talking about creativity last time, like it really hurt me to see like it's falling apart more and more, like a lot of big cities, I think so. But there is beauty in those. I
remember
things.
You were like, you kept saying like, can't believe I wanted to like live here before. Like this is so crazy.
It's just it's disappointing just to see how it, in a lot of ways it's fallen apart. So and maybe that represents society as well in some ways. How like it's kind of made a wrong turn in a lot of ways. But once again, we got to look for those stars that shine so bright. So.
Yeah. That was like we were reflecting on that after I had to go to the bathroom, and we saw a bag on the floor, and you really challenged me to go to the bathroom in that bag because we were in like.
I can't believe you brought up that story.
Yeah, that'll be for another time though. But
I can't believe you talked about the shitting in the bags.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. We had an intimate moment. You know what I mean? Like, we got the good, we got the bad, and we got the ugly.
We got the shit too. So, we got a few more minutes here. Is there anything else that you want to talk about in the sense of just what we've discussed or processed?
I just had a good time with you at the Metallica concert. I think I'm with the 72 seasons. 72 seasons.
That 18 years of life, as we talked about.
Just highlighting that, like, I think a part of it was like the first 18 years we get kind of shaped.
Yeah.
Then didn't he say like the next 18 years we're trying to figure shit out or something like that?
Mm-hmm. No. It's
okay.
I think the rest of our lives. He didn't say anything about it. He just referenced that first 18 years. 72 seasons. That concept is the first 18 years of our lives and how it develops us, and then after that, it's a lifetime of like repairing possibly. So.
In that case, just like the last comment I would say is how validating it is for like a rock star to experience the same things that like we can experience as people.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I remember being at that show was like I was like, damn, like what would it be like to be up on stage with this many people and like just like I don't know, have everyone
podcasting?
Like fucking like no, like have everyone like screaming your name or like singing your song. And the magical feeling that brings, which brings me to like another thing that we'll talk about at a certain point, because I know you're about to cut me off, therapist, is
counselor.
Yeah, counselor is yeah, this feeling of like wanting to be noticed. Maybe we'll talk about that maybe in our next time session.
I mean, like the reason, yeah, I mean, like that stage is big, and that comes along. A lot comes along with that stage. Ego, your it could become your everything. It's a drug in itself. That you command from your audience and what they give you, and when you don't have that, there could be a real emptiness in it. So,
or is it heavy is the crown, or what's that saying? Have you heard of it?
Yeah, heavy is the crown.
Something like that. Yeah.
Then we need to like study up on our like.
We'll cut this scene and like
can we
pretend that we're like saying it right the next.
Yeah. So, cool, man. It's a wrap then.
It's a wrap. Time's up.
Yeah.